Tick, tick, tick. The clock is going in a massive standoff between the Pentagon and the AI giant Anthropic. The Pentagon says the company has a Friday afternoon deadline to back off demands it has for the U.S. military or face severe consequences. This is the Wall Street Journal reports that Anthropic's main product, Claude, was used in the military operation. That one right there to capture the Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. Anthropic has two big concerns over the use of AI with the Pentagon: weapons without human oversight, and the use possibly of AI to conduct mass surveillance over American citizens. The debate sparking questions about the role that the AI intelligence companies will play in the wars of the future. Joining me now, Navy veteran, senior fellow at Georgetown Center for Security and Emerging Technology, Emilia Probasco, with us tonight. Emilia, this is a big showdown. You know, we talk about Republicans and Democrats last night at the State of the Union. You had Pete Hegseth and the CEO of Anthropic also yesterday trying to figure this one out. How consequential is it? Because you got one of the biggest players and the Pentagon going like this right now.
Yeah, thanks, Blake. And I think you put it just right. These are two really big players, and they're both incredibly important for national security. These tools, Claude, has already been deployed on our classified networks. There are operators using it today to try and make the best military decision that they can make. And so the stakes are pretty high that these two can come to some kind of an agreement that will keep our warfighters with cutting-edge technologies to make the best possible decisions.
I mean, there was the reporting out there, Emilia, about how it was involved in the Venezuela operation, and I don't think that should be any surprise. Like, think about this, it's almost like saying the internet was involved in that operation as well, right, at this point. We know what the internet can do, though. What can Claude or any of these AI technologies do? Because you also have, you know, OpenAI and Grok involved with the military as well.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about how generative AI models like ChatGPT or Claude or Grok can be used by the military. There is no big autonomous Terminator weapon. The military simply is not comfortable with that kind of application. Instead, what they're trying to do is use these tools to sort through vast amounts of information that they're trying to sift through to find potential threats and then to identify potential responses. All of that work has been done in the past with a bunch of humans. Those humans do make errors. They try very hard not to, but they will make errors, and it takes a very long time. These new tools can help them make decisions better, sometimes faster. And so that's really what we're trying to achieve. But it's not some sort of button that you push and then all of a sudden the war is done. This is a much more controlled process that the military is very directive in how they apply the tools.
You know, one of the things that an analogy that I think about is, as basically Anthropic is saying, maybe you can do this, but not that, would be like if any of the internet companies said, we don't like those boat strikes out in the Caribbean, you can't use our internet. Is that kind of where we are right now, with a massive company trying to negotiate with the U.S. government? You can use our stuff for this, but not that? And sort of what questions does that raise?
Yeah, this is a hard question because a lot of tech companies have been thrust into the middle of conflict in a way that is very new. I mean, I think actually the conflict to look at is in Ukraine, and the number of tech companies that decided to take a stand in ways that, frankly, the Russians declared as being making them combatants. So this is a pretty tricky question that all of these new tech companies are dealing with. And I think in trying to navigate them, the companies are both trying to help national security. I mean, I think it's a very good sign that we had at least a respectful conversation, as I understand it, on Tuesday. But they're also trying to voice some concerns about what they know about their tech and their concerns about how it might be misused while still working to support national security.
There's about 62,000 AI startups worldwide. Emily, as you know, about half of them, 30,000 here in the U.S. When you think about all the issues going, Emilia, excuse me, when you think about all the issues going forward on this topic, Emilia Probasco knows it inside and out. I have no doubt we'll be talking again. Thanks, Emilia. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.